Hey, it's Kelly from MXHideout. Have you ever taken the fuel mixture screw off of your 4-stroke dirt bike carb and afterwards it didn't start or run right? Whether it was harder to start or it had a hanging idle or the idle went up and down. So you blip the throttle, rum, and then it took a few seconds to settle back down. Well, after tuning dirt bike carbs for 10 plus years, I've found that there's 3 big mistakes that are really easy to make that will cause this to happen when uninstalling and reinstalling the fuel mixture screw. And how do you know that you have a fuel mixture screw as opposed to an air screw? Well, most 4-strokes have a fuel mixture screw, and you can tell just by looking at the location of it. See, my left hand is towards the engine side, and you can see the fuel screw goes in this hole right here. So if it's on the bottom front side, you have a fuel screw. And the first mistake is not having all of the parts here. So here you got the screw itself, then you got the spring and the washer and the O-ring. And sometimes I see when rebuilding a carb that there's no O-ring there. When there's no O-ring, if it's just the spring, the washer, and the fuel screw, that's going to cause air to leak by it because the O-ring, it's a rubber O-ring, it seals against the surface in here. And when there's no O-ring, air will leak past it, causing it to run lean, causing that hanging idle. The second problem is installing the O-ring in the wrong order. Sometimes I see people put the O-ring on first, sometimes I see people put the spring on first, and then they put the O-ring on, and then the washer. So it's like this, but that can also cause it not to seal because that rubber O-ring isn't against the mating surface of the carb. Plus, when the O-ring is on the spring, that can easily get cut, causing it to have an air leak as well. And then the third mistake, which even if you do it, have all the parts right and in the right order, so it should be spring, and then washer, and then O-ring. So even if you have them all on and in the right order, it can be easy to, when you're installing it, the O-ring crooked on the fuel screw, and then it ends up installing like that, and it gets smushed, causing it not to seal, and what do you know, an air leak. And that can also cause it to tear. So when you're installing it, make sure that you're careful and try and not hit the sides of the bore on this carb. So I always try and do it straight up, because if you do it at an angle, it's more likely for that O-ring to fall over. So try and do it when the carb hole is upright and just carefully slide it in. And if you need help tuning your fuel screw, because that's super important for starting, idling, and low RPM throttle response, I got a free 5-minute cheat sheet to do that in just a few minutes. You can grab that in the description below. I'm Kelly Figure from MXHideout. Ride safe, have fun.